Hey you! I'm sure you clicked into this video because you believe that mental health is one of the most crucial aspects of life that we can prioritize. And there's a whole bunch of topics under that. Today, I'm sharing a wee bit of my knowledge in counseling psychology as we talk about something that can be really tricky to deal with: narcissism. Whether it's a friend, a family member, or a colleague, dealing with narcissistic behavior can feel like walking on eggshells. So let's try to break down what narcissism is, what drives it, and how to spot the signs. Well, narcissism is a personality style, not a medical diagnosis. So it's not like depression or anxiety, where someone can be officially diagnosed, but narcissism still affects people's lives in a big way. You can't change a narcissist overnight, just like you can't change the weather on a whim. And narcissists usually don't think they need help. So when things go wrong, they blame everyone else. That's the funny thing, because I don't think many narcissists go for therapy themselves. The people who are dealing with narcissists are the ones going for therapy. At the core of narcissism is deep insecurity, but it's masked by entitlement and a constant need for admiration. For example, you might know someone who always seeks validation on social media, fishing for compliments on their looks or their achievements at work, but they seldom, or they never, ask how you are really doing, even when you're going through something really rough. The things that drive narcissists are power, dominance, and control. They want a perfect life, and they want to appear superior to everyone. Think of someone who always brags about their job, being like in the top positions of the company, talking about how perfect their relationship is if they found someone, or talking about their expensive vacations or how luxurious it is to be traveling so many times in a year. On the outside, they look flawless, but on the inside, they're actually fighting a battle with their own insecurities. Narcissism often stems from childhood. Maybe they didn't get the attention they needed, or they were overindulged and told they were special all the time. And this is a very important point to note for parents out there. Imagine a child who's always doted on, told they are the best, and never has to face disappointment, growing up and believing that everyone should cater to their needs. Or it could be someone who faced neglect or trauma as a child. Those who've had really tough childhoods might internalize their pain and grow to be very empathetic. But for others, this might result in narcissism. Narcissism is a regulation issue. They don't feel safe in this world, so they're always on the defensive. You've probably encountered someone who gets upset over the smallest things, like if you don't respond to the text right away, if you're late by 5 minutes, while they come in with valid reasons when they themselves are late. or if you give them even the slightest constructive criticism, they might feel unloved because you're not giving it the way they want. They can't really handle feeling vulnerable, and that's why they act out or lash out. You know, we might see them every day in real life situations. For example, at work, someone might get upset if you suggest a better way to do something. Instead of considering the feedback, they might make it about how you are attacking them. There is always nothing wrong with them, while there is always something or someone else at fault. They don't like being told what to do. Like a partner who acts like they care about your decisions, but actually they refuse to listen to any of your advice. If they try to do what you ask them to, then be prepared, because you are expected to change for them in some way too, like keeping scores in a competition. And with shallow empathy, imagine a friend who cries during a sad movie but can't seem to care when you're going through a hard time. They'll act like they understand, but when it's your turn to need them, they're barely there. You might feel like they care for you when you're hanging out, because when they fulfill their need for socializing, they try their best to seem like they care for you. When there's no news of you, they are not the first to reach out to ask how you're doing. They honestly don't know how they make others feel. They always think that they are the ones who should be needing something instead. Pretty self-centered. But when you point out something that you've already given them, they go, "You wanted to give that to me, you wanted to do that for me, I did not ask for it." You might have had a conversation with someone egocentric who quickly turns everything back to them, no matter the topic. So if you're talking about a tough day at work, they might make it about how the day was even worse. Or on the extreme end, they couldn't care less to even listen to your woes and struggles, because they care more about their own things. And they might even ask you to shut up about your life. When it comes to contempt and mockery, I think it's pretty easy to tell. Think of someone who makes jokes at other people's expense, mocking their appearance, how you look, your intelligence, how stupid you are, or your status, and they tend to brush it off as just a joke, even though it hurts people. They tend to be negative commenters, saying bad things about everything that they see, and they scrimp on compliments. When it comes to gaslighting, a common one would be when you confront someone about a lie they told, and instead of owning up to it, they'll turn it around on you, making you feel like you are overly sensitive or paranoid. They are the ones best at gaslighting. And you've probably heard someone complain about not getting special treatment or not being loved as much. Like a friend who feels entitled to the best seat, or someone that demands that you drop everything to help them out. You know, they expect you to give them the best just because. While the narcs can sometimes give you thoughtful gifts or write nice thank you cards, sadly, it's often not out of genuine gratitude. It's more about looking good, making you feel like they deserve more, kind of like setting the grounds for benefits from you next time. You might know someone who always posts pictures of their family saying how happy they are, or talks about how successful they are at their jobs. But if you ask them about their feelings or personal struggles, they will shut you down because they're not good with being vulnerable and telling people about their true feelings. A narcissist might want you to always be available when they need you, but they rarely consider your needs. They help you out sometimes, not sure whether willingly or with motives, but they are scorekeepers and will always come back for compensation. They're like the friend who expects you to drop everything to hang out, but when you need them, when you ask for them, they're just too busy with other friends, or they're busy at work, or they might just meet for the sake of receiving future benefits. Remember, they are scorekeepers. In relationships, narcissists might bait you into reacting so that they can feel in control. Maybe they say something they know will upset you, just to make themselves feel better when you lash out. Or they might give you the silent treatment, acting like they are calm, but they're actually manipulating you without even doing anything. They're actually the ones good at manipulating people, taking advantage of you and making use of you to do something for them. And when they lie, they'll deny it. If you catch them, they might say something like, "You're just being paranoid, you won't take no for an answer," or "You always make things up," making you feel like you're the crazy one. So yeah, narcissism can be tough to handle, especially when you know someone who's exhibiting these behaviors. There are, of course, different types of narcs, and that's a whole nother front of things to dive into. Sometimes we do have the capacity to remind ourselves that narcissists aren't entirely bad people. They often just struggle with deep insecurities, although at the expense of others' feelings. But understanding what's going on underneath can help you deal with them more effectively. If you're in a relationship with a narcissist, whether it's a friend, family, or partner, it's essential to set boundaries and protect your emotional health. Even if you feel like you hope to be kind and do something for them, think twice, carefully, because it might just come back to bite you anytime, somehow. Well, if you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing for more on this channel. And if you've had experiences with narcissistic behaviors, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.